the whole experience of Tarkov is built on let's make the lows lower and the highs higher, because then the emotional experience is really wide. If you want the feeling of, oh my God, I just one tapped that guy, he's so juiced, this is epic, we gotta go. If you want that feeling, then the stuff that juice guy is wearing has to be effective.
You have to be excited, not just for the money of it.
Or else, yeah, exactly. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, a show dedicated to talking about all the poggers things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jesse Kazam.
And I'm late. That chess game took forever, dude. Jesus Christ.
That's fine.
Leave it up to the French guy to take 3.5 years.
Come on.
Leave it up to the guy to use the time allocated to him.
Imagine actually trying to win.
Normally, I'm the one who takes forever, and then as soon as I'm like playing fast, and then see the thing is that like, if one person's taking forever to think, then that means like you kind of have forever to think like through all the things they're gonna do. So,
Yeah.
like, it's almost always just one person using the time.
Yeah.
But
That's actually kind of true, because like if you thought that you were predicting what was happening, if they were taking forever, you'd be like, oh, maybe he's going to try this, maybe he's going to try that, and you're kind of building additional defenses. That's interesting.
Yeah, but Chaboy got to 1,200, which is much higher than I would have expected this soon. So that's exciting. 1,200. I was hoping to get to 1,000 recently. I got to 1,000.
Yeah, I was about to say, weren't you like
straight up
just talking about getting to 1,000?
And I've been playing against like 1,300s and 1,400s, and it's really weird. It's really weird. Every like milestone I get to, the people at my level or slightly below are harder than the people 200 points higher than me. I don't know what the deal. It's been like that since when I was 800. The 600 smoked me. When I was 1,000, the 800 smoked me. Now the thousands and the 1050s smoke me, and the 1,400s are easy. It's really bizarre. I don't know what the deal is.
That is weird.
So
that is very weird.
Anyway, and the only other thing with chess stuff to get out of the way is I released my chess documentary.
Ooh, fully released?
Yeah, fully released, dude.
I did not know about that.
Yeah, let me see. I gotta turn your volume up. I can't tell if this.
Check 1 2.
Is that louder for chat?
Check 1 2.
Whoa.
Is it on your Satire V channel?
Yeah. Okay, it's better now. Cool. Yep, it is. Yeah, 51 minutes, and it's only part 1. So there's going to be 2
minutes.
2-parter. Yeah, and it unfortunately is going to be another one of those videos that's going to be like a video I feel like should have 1 million views.
Yeah.
And is going to have 2,000 views. It's so like disheartening, dude. Like there are so many videos I watch that get millions of views that I like are great. Yeah. And then like I put out a video that I'm like, it has all of the
things that made that video great.
The quality of the editing is good. The storytelling is good. The humor is good. It's not like all of the things, thumbnail, the title, like all the little things. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's just not the quality of the video,
Yeah.
Like when I go and I watch those videos too, if I go watch a video that has a million views, the comments are all like random things. Every one of the comments on my videos on that other channel are like, this is the greatest content I've ever seen. Please do more. Oh my God, please do more. Yeah. Which is like that.
You're just like, how can this be the response and have the algorithm not take it?
Yeah. Like
So
I don't know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I want to watch it though. I want to watch it for sure.
Yeah. I left a nice little cliffhanger at the end.
Oh.
Only because like, I was only halfway through and saw it was 50 minutes and was like, oh.
Well, I should.
Yeah.
Is it like, okay, so it's going to be a 2-parter, or is this like an extended series? So just
2 part. Yeah. It should only be 2 parts. Yeah. I talk about the history of cheating in chess and how you cheat in chess and how like chess engines work. And I talk about like the whole backstory for the whole cheating scandal. And then I tell a little bit about the main characters of the story,
Yep.
so to speak, and some of their history and stuff. And yeah,
That's
it was kind
super
of important.
interesting.
It was kind of important to me to like one of the things that the guy Hans Niemann who got accused of cheating by like the world champion, by Magnus Carlsen, who's like, I mean, obviously it's a debate and people will disagree, but like he's the best chess player of all time.
Yeah.
He just is. And so like, and he's a really likable guy. He's like just like a handsome, charismatic, he's a pretty likable dude. And Hans Niemann, the younger kid who, has cheated online before in the past, admittedly, and he's kind of like a heel. He's kind of like like he says is like, he's like
pretty
arrogant,
already playing into the role before he was even cast as the role of the villain. You know what I mean?
Now, I mean, then again, there are a lot of people that even in the chess world or anywhere else that you can say are like prima donnas, but like he just got so many memeable clips and stuff that this whole thing happened, especially with like the whole anal beads Elon Musk tweet and everything like that. So he's just like the laughing stock of the chess world, and it's like sad. So it was important to me to like, as much as I want to meme on the guy, and I wanted to like tell his story and show him like a human, like portray him like a human
for sure.
It started off with like he's a kid, and then when he was 8 years old, and showing like old footage of him like playing chess when he was younger, and like because I just think it's really easy to forget that that people are humans, and like even if he cheated a ton in chess, like he doesn't deserve millions of people
for sure
hating on him 24/7 365. Like the crime doesn't fit the punishment. He's already been punished worse than for the crime he may or may not have committed than he should have if he was guilty. So it's just like, but yeah. And anyway, it's just really easy for all of the content to just forget about that. And I wanted to. So that was a bit that I talked about.
That's dope.
Anyway,
that's dope. I'm super interested. I'm interested in the cheating side. We've talked about it before, like, because I think so many people in the world wait, you can cheat in chess? You know what I mean? Like at the same time, like how is that even possible? So like that's what's so interesting about it. So to hear that that's kind of what it's about. It's like the history of cheating in chess, how it happens, stuff like that. I
that's like every other comment on every other video is like, wait, you can cheat in chess? How?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you just, I mean, you can see my pieces? Yo,
see
my pieces? Don't screen peeking.
No screen peeking, bro. Yeah. That's funny.
Oy.
Well, you have an appropriate hoodie on. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. This is Sigma. Repping the Sigma merch.
Okay. I was going to ask whose it was. Sigma's? All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Sigma and her merch. So This was an accident too. It just was in the laundry. Top of the laundry.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. Soon TM. So we keep like missing, like last week we talked about how we did the podcast on Thursday, and then on Friday they did another big like video, and that we just missed it. And then last week we did the podcast Thursday, and we were like, oh, please God, something happened. And then Saturday they started pre-wipe officially. So we are in the pre-wipe, and like, bro, I'm so like mind melted just like having to answer the question about like all the just like theories. It's not even the hey streamer, when is wipe? Truly, people don't believe me. Truly doesn't bother me. Truly, what happens is like people in my chat get more bothered than I do. Like every single day, someone in chat will be like, please shut up, stop asking when the wipe is. And I'll be like, dude, take a chill pill. Like, I don't even mind. I understand people want to know. But what melts my brain is just like the like 5-head tinfoil hat conspiracy theories about every specific date. it can't be this day because it's Christmas. And they said Nikita swore he pinky promised he would never wipe on Christmas again. And if it's not on Christmas and it's not on this day, then it has to be this day. And then some other guy goes, no, you're stupid. It has to be Christmas because he wouldn't do it this day because drops. Well, we don't know when drops are. Well, yeah, Rengar leaked. Oh, well, but those dates are confirmed. And it's like, that's what melts my brain. It's like, I don't know when the wipe is and I don't really care. And if you ask when, I'll tell you that, you know, there's no official information, but we're in pre-wipe so soon. I don't mind doing that all day. But the like, oh my God, just the like, it's so deep and everything is like requires a paragraph text of like explanation on why this day is the best day. And I'm like, dude.
And anybody who's ever done software before knows that Nikita still doesn't know what day they're
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, they've done stuff before where they've planned it like 12/12 happened on 12/12, and I'm sure that they tried to hit that and they tried to get everything ready. But like, yeah, I just feel like people think that the patch has been done for 3 weeks and they've got like a perfectly planned out thing, and I bet it's more like they're scrambling. You know what I mean? They're like,
yeah,
we want to put it out. You know what I mean? They're like, can we put it out tomorrow? No? All right. What pre-wipe event should we do tomorrow? Can we put it out tomorrow? No? All right. What pre-wipe event should we do tomorrow? You know what I mean? So like, it's just like,
someone's got to go back and see all of the conspiracy theories that like all the people and like not nice guy in his videos, and like someone needs to do the after the fact. One of my favorite podcasts, The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, one of the things they do is once a year, I think it's like after New Year's, they, instead of making New Year's resolutions, they make predictions. They're psychic predictions.
Oh, yeah.
So what they do is they just use their scientific knowledge to try to make the highest probability hits. Like, you know, and nobody remembers all the ones they get wrong.
Yeah.
And then they look at all of the prominent, because all of the prominent psychics, if there are any, I mean, like back in the day, Miss Cleo and all these other people,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's less so now. They would make all these predictions, you know, like, oh, there's going to be a level 5 earthquake in the South of California.
Yeah.
No, you know, and they go through all of these famous psychics predictions and like figure out how many. And they're never right, dude. They never get anything right. It's like they have like a 2% success rate, and usually these guys who are like scientists get it right. So that's what someone needs to do that.
Well, anyways, we can go through while you munchin', we can go through all the pre-wipe events, because so we said pre-wipe has officially started Saturday. Every single day they have had a new event.
I've seen all those thumbnails. Day 7 wipe event.
Yeah,
Day 7,
which is weird, because I feel as though they haven't done that as a lot in the past. Well, see, that's the thing, is that it doesn't really matter. Like we said, what they do in the past has almost always just been a way to stall until the wipe was ready. So just because they did something in the past, but I feel like we haven't had daily pre-wipe events, especially lasting now. We're on day 6. I'm assuming it's now wiping tomorrow. So a week plus, you know what I mean, of just straight up daily events. And they've really done like different stuff this time. It's weird, like they're being much more subtle thus far. Last wipe, before the wipe we had in the summer, there was that like crazy aggressive event where like everybody spawned poisoned. You were going to die in 6 minutes, and 3 minutes in, airdrops started spawning, and all the bosses had the antidotes. I loved that event so much. I thought I was going to hate it. I loved it so much because it forced people to move. Like if you were going to just like camp it up, you were going to die. Like you had to move to get the antidotes to him. And I just thought that was fun. But that was a really aggressive event, and that wouldn't be a fun event for 10 days, right? Like we're on day 7 of pre-wipe, so that wouldn't be fun. So they have really done interesting, and there's lots of course, conspiracy theories.
Is it different every time, or they add something new?
They're stacking. Yeah, so they're all still active. But it's really interesting. Okay, so the first day, we got all of your soft skills level like 10 times faster.
I actually played like 4 raids a few days ago because I needed a little bit of B-roll for a video that I did. And yeah, I was like, used a painkiller and like opened a box, and it was like, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Like, just getting levels like crazy.
If you like eat MRE, you have max metabolism. Like it was crazy. So that was kind of fun because like I got max surgery. Me and Velian, we were, you know, it took 4 raids to go from level 12 surgery to 51. We'd bring in a bunch of CMS kits. We would jump off of high places, black both of our legs, and get a bleed, a light bleed.
God.
So we would CMS the leg, And then we would CMS the other leg. While we were CMSing the other leg, the light bleed would black out the other leg because it only had 1 HP from CMSing it. And we would just, like, literally, we'd bring in 5-10 CMSs, and we would do that, and then we would play out the raid, and then we'd do that.
Dude.
And so we got max surgery, which, like, max surgery is nuts. The animation is so fast when you have max surgery. It's like 40% faster. So he's just like, click. And you don't.
I assume you're going to put that in a video. I got to see this.
Yeah. And you don't lose any HP when you CMS. So you can use the CMS because it's a faster animation. You don't lose any HP. So it's like max surgery is nuts. I mean,
nobody's talking about how busted that is.
Yeah. Max surgery is nuts. I mean, it's like 1,600 raids got me to level 15. You know what I mean? So it's like, it would be so hard to get that. I mean, you would have to do that, but you just have to do what we did 10 times longer. You know what I mean? But so that was fun. I got max recoil control. I was just bringing in PPSHs and drum mags and just like shooting it in the beginning of the raid. We got max search and attention, which is just like, so people get that a lot. I've never had max attention. I've only had max search once. So I got max search and attention. And that's just so busted for looting, dude. It's so crazy. Looting an airdrop and just clicking F on it. And as soon as the airdrop opens, the whole thing is looted. Just like, it's nuts.
I don't think that's attention.
Attention, yeah.
Yeah, because I've got max search. That lets you search like two
things at once, like, yeah. And max attention is much harder to get. Well, actually not that bad. This wipe, traditionally, max attention has been much, much harder. My search, so like when this event started, 1,600 raids into the wipe, my search was 47, my attention was 42. So like if we had gone another month, I would have gotten it. You know what I mean? But I've never even been close to attention before. So I got like max memory, and I don't even know how. I don't know how you level the memory skill.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I don't remember. If you have a weapon repair kit in your stash, every gun you repair is a level in weapon maintenance. So it's just like I just repaired all the guns in my cases and got max weapon maintenance. I got max hideout management.
What does that get you?
Hideout management? You can put 3 water filters in your thing, and you can get 5 Bitcoins before, you know how it's like after 3 Bitcoins, the Bitcoin farm stops. So you can have 5, yeah. Which is kind of dumb because if you play the game with enough attention to max that skill, you play often enough to replace your own water filter and claim your Bitcoin. I'm working on max crafting, and max crafting allows you to craft 2 things from each station at the same time. That's huge. Like that's a dope skill if you can grind that out.
It's twice as fast as the most boring mini game in the game.
Yeah. Hey, it's money though. It's a great way. I mean, it's like a great way to make money. It's
assuming you have the raw material. Like my experience, at least 4 months ago and going backwards, is that if you have the raw materials already, it's kind of
Airwing's done some breakdowns. There are certain crafts that the raw materials are so common that they can't really get that expensive on the flea market, but the thing that it crafts is rare enough to net you profit always.
I'm sure there are a few things like that, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like if people knew about it, then everybody would do it, and then the supply would be high enough of those things.
Hey, he's made tons of videos on all this stuff.
I would need to. All I'll say is I'm skeptical of like the money per hour unit of brain power spent is like.
Dude, he'll give you the scientific breakdown, bro. Airing is like the hideout and the economy guy. Like, dude, he'll give you the breakdown. Also, like, I'm a huge proponent that, like, I think personally that there's a lot of things in the hideout to craft that are just valuable to me. Like 762 BP, right? Like if you don't want to play Lighthouse.
Yeah.
If you don't want to play Lighthouse because your computer can't handle it or you just don't like the map, and you don't want to spend like 1,800 rubles a round or whatever it is from Prapper, crafting it is absolutely the way to go. And being able to craft 2 things at once would be nuts because you can buy the grenades you need to craft green gunpowders from the traders. So it's the trader prices, not flea market prices. Then you can craft green gunpowders. You can buy, all it takes is 70 545 PS rounds, 545, not 760, 545 PS rounds to craft a blue gunpowder. And then with blue gunpowder and green gunpowder, you can craft 762 BP. So you don't need the flea market at all. Everything is trader prices, and it's because it's trader prices, it's perma baked in value.
For things you're going to use, and for me, for the quest items and things that I need, like that.
So stuff like that, it's crazy. You can craft M61, you can craft 995, you can craft BP, and being able to do like 2 things at once there. Same thing with, it's incredibly valuable to craft the fabrics like Cordura. Cordura is 4 sling bags. The just 2x2 sling bags. Those are always 2,000 rubles a piece, and Cordura is always 30,000 rubles on the flea market. So
because people only need them for the quest, need it for basically nothing else, and it's common enough that
so you can make money off them, or with 4 Cordura, 4 Ripstop, which you can also craft Ripstop with 3 scav vests. And if you find Slickers bars, you can barter the Slickers bars for scab vest from Jaeger, craft the scab vest into Ripstop. And then with 4 Ripstop, 4 Cordura, and a whiskey, you can craft the AACPC Class 5 rig. It's my favorite Class 5 armor in the game.
How long does that take?
What? Oh,
the craft.
Oh, I don't know.
Like what you just said, it's like one of those things that like I get for some people is worth it. But
I'm not saying it's a good ruble value. I'm saying
not even that. Like you just said, like 9 ingredients.
Yeah.
And it probably takes like 9 hours to make something you might use for 14 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh God.
But I get to barter for it, and you have to buy it with money that you don't have. Like, you know what I mean?
I just shoot you and take it, and then I die with it instantly.
Is that how your raids have been going? Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Is that
No, I haven't done any raids.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm saying.
Hey, listen, I got a stash full of slicks. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I do. I have like 7 slicks.
Okay. Are they viewer kits?
Serious.
Are they viewer kits?
No, dude, I found them in the little, what do you call them? The stashes, the Jaeger stashes.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I found.
Yeah,
I think
you can
5
find
of
them pretty. That's pretty dope.
That's all I wore when I did that B-roll. I went into factory.
All I'm saying is that you say it's a boring mini game, and guys like me and Airwing love it. I love it. I love knowing the like 18 different ingredients that can get me an AACPC Class 5 rig, and because I love that so much better than just like scav in, find Vertex, sell Vertex for 500,000 rubles, buy for 500,000 rubles. I like just like having that stuff, and I also just permanently run that stuff. Like, but
don't you also have a stash full of it though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then you go and craft it.
My chat is reeing so hard right now because we're in the middle of pre-wipe. My stash value is 140 million rubles, and I'm looting. I loot filing cabinets and like stuff. Like,
listen, whatever gets you going.
Because dude. I play the game the way I want the game to be eventually, hoping that if it ever becomes that, I have such an edge because like people are so reliant on money. People are so reliant on money. And we've talked at length about like that's just how the game is played right now. It's just like the ruble is king. With ruble, you can have anything. And I hope that one day it's not like that. And if it's not, I'm in charge. Last pre-wipe, one of the pre-wipe.
You and me both.
What? Yeah.
I never have money. I'm the king of no money. What do you mean?
Last pre-wipe, dude. And I understand why this was frustrating, but it was also vindicating for me. Last pre-wipe, one of the pre-wipe events was that all the traders were gone. Remember? I didn't even notice, bro. I got armor, I got ammo, I got meds, I got helmets, I got guns, I got pistol grips, I got mags. I didn't even notice. And I loved it. And I get that obviously a lot of people were frustrated because the game has trained them that they can play one way and then the game took it away. So that was kind of a skeezy move on the part of the game. Like you have to kind of slowly tell your community that's, but it was so like, I was like, this is why I love, like, this is how I want the game to be, is that like I'm rewarded for hoarding and for stuff. It's like, I don't have gear fear. Like I lost 18 slicks today. It's not like I hoard stuff and then never use it. I'll use it. I don't care. I'll delete any one of my cases. I just love the part of the enjoyment for me is making the stash fuller and fuller and fuller. I have 5 items cases. I have 8 weapons cases. I have 2 thick items cases. I have a thick weapons case. I have 8 mag cases and 8 ammo cases, and they're all full. I just love the loot. I love looting stuff.
Listen, dude, some people like wearing ball gags and getting spanked, and you know, like it's
straight.
not for me, but we don't kink shame.
You're damn straight.
That's all I'm saying.
You're damn straight. Anyways, so the skills event was day 1, and that was fun, just like getting up stuff. So immediately I was thinking, oh, this is an interesting pre-wipe event because we know that they have the ability to just like max our skills. Like, you know what I mean? Some of the previous events, like Chronicles of Rigi events, were just like every raid you spawn in, you have max attention or max search. And it's like they've been super weird, but they chose not to do that. And what we also know is that what Nikita said is coming with this wipe is new skills and a rework to skills. We don't know what the rework means, but he said a rework to skills. And I was like, this is kind of cool because this event, the hype around this event teaches people how to level skills. I've played this game 5,500 hours, and 10 times that night I went, how do you level this skill? And we figured it out. And so many people came into chat. Hey, how do you level this skill? How do you level this skill? And I was like, this is kind of cool. So, you know, in my...
Normally you accidentally level something. You're like, what happened?
Yeah, you just see in the bottom memory level 7 and you're like, what did I do? I was just walking. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, okay, wait, memory? You have to tell me. I've had a theory forever.
Okay.
It just can't be the way it works, but I'm telling you, it's like, it seems too perfect, the pattern that I see, where I'll get an engagement with a PMC, and then we'll get separated. And then later I'll either kill them or see them again and start shooting them. And as soon as I start that's when I level memory. It's when I'm like seeing someone who I previously disengaged
maybe.
with. It can't be.
It can't be. That would be too good. but
no way do you know?
No, I actually don't know how to level memory. Let's pull up the wiki. Escape from Tarkov wiki. Memory. It doesn't say. It says,
wait, how to raise?
Oh,
every 5 points of XP gain for any
physical or practical skills. There's a lot of skills in the game like that just like only level through the leveling of other skills, so that's weird. You need level 8 of it to like gain access to the library, but it's like
it could just be a total coincidence, but it's like one of those things like if I see somebody and I like flank all the way around customs and then re-engage them, it's always like that scenario where I see it.
It's also interesting because like that skill is useless. Like that skill, like this is one of those things like they had a vision for that skill. Turns out it wasn't as good of an idea as they thought. Originally, if you didn't play Tarkov, you lost your soft skills. And I can see how like a really small team of developers is like, this is cool, this is hardcore. At some point, they acknowledged that's not that great of a thing. If people need to take a week off or something, that kind of sucks. So they took that away. But then like they stopped the memory skill long before the hideout was introduced into the game. And when they made the hideout, somebody was like, the library should have memory skill. It's like, it's a useless skill that they make you level, but not that much. It's only level 8 because like the elite perk is now you don't forget any skills. You know what I mean? Which you don't.
Now you don't have the thing that's not in the game.
Yeah. So it was interesting. Anyway, so leveling. So anyway, so yeah. So like it was interesting that we're getting a skill rework. And then the very first pre-wipe event was like teaching the community how to level a lot of these skills. A lot of those questions were asked. The wiki got, you know, a lot of streamers were talking about how to level skills. So in Jesse's perfect dream world, a lot of these skills become more balanced, right? Like you can get max strength or you can get max like, strength because endurance is harder now. Max strength in like 500 raids. But in 1,500 raids, you know, my surgery skill was 15. And I'm not saying that they should all get max at the same amount of time. Obviously, things like surgery are going to depend on if you're like if you're operator AF and you just never get shot, then you're not going to max surgery as much. But if they bring some of these more in line, now a lot of the community knows how to level them. So I was like, that's interesting. No tinfoil hats, no conspiracy theories, but I was like, that's interesting. I hope that this is relevant. Then the second pre-wipe event day was all of the hideout modules or upgradable with the use of just beer, the Pevka beer.
I heard that. Yeah.
So you can craft the beer. You can find the beer on Woods. You can find a beer anywhere, but like Woods is
that a newish item?
Mm-hmm, yeah, it was. I think it was the summer wipe. Like it's either this wipe or the wipe.
Matt, I don't think I've ever even seen it in the game.
It's new. Newish. So like solar, which traditionally costs like all in like 18 or 20 million rubles to get solar, was 4 beers. And I think actually somebody in the chat, let me know, was upgrading your stash size if you were on a standard, was that beer as well? That would have been kind of cool. I hadn't even considered that until just now. It was. That's kind of dope. So like you can craft the beers and
pay to win. Drink to win.
Drink to win. Anyways, so once again though, we know that we're getting the gym and potentially, hopefully, more hideout modules this wipe. Pre-wipe day 2, let's get everybody to max hideout so they can like see what they can craft and see what they can do and see what they, and I was like, this is interesting. You know what I mean? Like it seems like they're really like for the first time really linking like what we're doing. So that was kind of cool. I crafted a bunch, got solar up, and then at this point you could then barter or sell the beer for anything. Everybody wanted beer. There weren't enough beers because like it's kind of a hard item to find, and you could sell the beer for anything. So day 3. Oh, I forgot about this. Day 3 was dog tags. They multiplied the value of any dog tag by 7. So like Velian's level 63 dog tag was like 170,000 rubles to therapists.
Yeah. So
which was sick because like we've talked at many times about like dog tag barters and having that be like some sort of incentive, some sort of money, you know what I mean, incentive as well. And so, you know what's brutal though, dude? I sold 275 high-level dog tags 3 days before that event started.
Oof.
Like it was that was easily 30 million rubles worth of dog tags. Also, Axel sold 5,000 dog tags 2 weeks before. He didn't sell a single dog tag the entire wipe. He turned in the ones he needed for quests, and he filled 50 dog tag cases. And like 2 weeks ago, he sold them all and he posted the clip. He made 60 million rubles before the event. It would have been like 420 million rubles, which is just insane. I mean, not that he needs the money or not that I needed the money. It was just like, just funny.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool that the dog tags and all, like we said, all of these have stacked. So you still can level your skills super fast. You're still, you know, the beer and the hideout and stuff like that. Then the third day was the stims. All stims have 0 negative effect right now. So like Mule doesn't give you damage anymore. And then like the really big one was the Aldabadabadabadabas stim, which gives you like 18 positives and 18 negatives. But now there are no negatives. So like that one is like, oh dude, it's just like it's unreal. It's like the Terminator stim. All stims have no negatives, and every stim is barterable from therapists for like really cheap stuff. Matches, cricket lighters, gold chains, stuff you can find everywhere. So that was another cool thing where it's like, if you were just like a level 30 with a junk box full of stuff, you like could barter for a ton of these stims that you probably don't get access to all the time. You know what I mean? Like ETGs and Meldonins and SJ6s and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. And then the next event was they like doubled or tripled all melee damage. And
is that why everybody was a hatchling?
Yeah.
Like 4 days ago or whatever?
Yeah, so
I saw Pestily get. I literally have watched like one raid. I randomly dropped in a Pestily stream and then saw him walk up to a dude. The dude ran up to him and just went shwat, shwat, and he just died.
Yep.
That's all I've seen.
They like quadrupled melee damage or whatever it is, and then everybody has a quest, and the quest is melee 15 PMCs and melee Tagilla. And the reward is 2.0 rep for all the traders, and a red rebel and an M2 tactical sword. So it was like a max traders, but not, because you would have enough rep that you don't have to do any more quests, but you wouldn't have necessarily met the level requirement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you were level 42 and did that quest, you had max traders now. But if not, you still needed to like level up or whatever. But that was interesting. That was such an interesting one because if you're a morning gamer, you got like you got the W there for like 3 hours. Like I was like watching, I didn't stream that morning, but I was watching. Everybody was going factory trying to melee Tagilla, and everybody was just like gentleman's duel. Nobody was bringing guns. Everybody was trying to get the quest done. And
I must have been that dude. I must have been the one like Grinch in factory because I just needed B-roll.
Yeah.
And I literally was just like, where are all these hatchlings, dude?
Bro.
I would kill 3 hatchlings in every raid.
Yeah.
No, I had no idea.
So like everybody, it was just like hatchet fight. Night streamer or night gamer, you log on and every single person was VoIPing, yo, you want a hatchet fight? Like, let's hatchet fight for the quest. And they would immediately kill you with a gun. It was just, we tried some factory raids and we just couldn't even do it. It wasn't even worth it. Like
somebody probably posted a clip of them doing that on Reddit,
dude,
and then that became
it takes so little time. Like if you stream or just play, if you just game in the morning, like American time, when they do these events, you get such a better experience. By the time an event has been live for like 8 to 10 hours, people are completely. I've had that happen with so many pre-wipe events, and I'm like, oh, I want to try the new thing, and then everybody's like, it's just gone. It's either sold out or everybody just like completely abandons the spirit of the quest. It was just like so bad. I played like 3 factory raids, and I was like, I don't care to do this at all if it's gonna be like this. You know what I mean? But that was an interesting one. And then today's event was there are 3 new TOS rounds.
It's one of them like a rocket launcher or something.
It's called an explosive round, and it is, if you closed your eyes and said shoot it, you'd be like, who shot the grenade launcher? It sounds like a GL. It blows up in a plume of fire like a GL does.
Is there like a minimum blast?
No.
Minimum distance, or you can point blank?
No, you can point blank it. Here's the kicker though. There's next to no splash damage. So if you miss, you miss. There's no splash damage.
So you have to like direct hit?
Yeah. I didn't know. There was a 2-man.
So it's basically a TOS direct effective range.
Yeah. I jumped. Yeah, that's the thing, is you can't really do medium or long range shots because you have to hit them. And there's like drop and everything. There was like a 2-man. I like jumped over and I shot straight at the ground between them. And they just like both walked away. And I was like, what the hell? And then that was Chad was like, you got to hit him. But then there's no effective distance. So if you're close range, like factory or anything, you can just fold people in half with the TOS round. It's so funny. And then there's like an elephant round, which it's got like 600 meter per second muzzle velocity, and
like a 7.62.
Yeah,
slower than
something like that.
30.
And it's got it's like 900 damage. But it has 26 MOA when you load it into a TOS. The TOS with that round in it has like 26 MOA. So you can't even like, people were trying to like take like voodoos and like snipe with it, but you just can't.
Defibrillator is what you're telling me.
You just can't. Like you can't do anything with it. And then there's Flechette Plus, which is just like a really good buckshot round. Yeah, it's like FMJ, like the 338 Lapua FMJ in a TOS, but not at all accurate at all. And then there's Flechette Plus. So here's what's interesting though, is that all of those rounds are only craftable at level 3 workbench. So like the event started and like nobody was using it because everybody had to get the stuff to craft them. And then like the like hand drills and fuses and stuff like that skyrocketed in price. And and then it takes like 45 minutes. So really the only real thing is the explosive rounds. That's all people are going to be using, and they are hilarious. And then the other thing, it's 14,000% or 1,400% durability burn. So I swear to God,
Veritas, 2 bullets and it's at 0%.
Yes. Here's what's weird. Here's what's weird and stupid. A Taz shooting the a Taz shooting the explosive rounds, you can only shoot it twice maximum, and the durability of the Taz will be at 99%, but you will never be able to shoot that Taz again. It will jam every time. But the durability still says 99%. But it's like a disposable Taz. You just can't use it anymore.
It must be like, I feel like that's probably a bug. It's probably like they turned it up so high that it like rolls over to like negative max.
Yeah,
integer.
So it like doesn't even adjust
it's
or
like
something.
It's like the minus 2,140,000, you know, whatever.
So basically it's like with the explosive rounds, you're going to guarantee get one shot. It's basically a 50-50 if your second shot is going to go or you're going to malfunction. And if you get a second shot, that Taz is busted. You're done.
Yo, I said 2,147,000. It's 2,147,000,000. I actually got the first 4 numbers right. So that's the engineer in me that knows.
Negative max
2147
integers. So it's like, so people are going like full like muskets where like you get like a TV rig or an alpha rig and people are bringing like 4 Tazes with only 1 round in each and then binding them all so you can like actually shoot more than 1 round. But
that's wild. Also, don't at me with the whole signed versus unsigned integer thing. I know, okay? Just don't. I don't want that tweet, okay?
I wouldn't even know where to begin to tell you what you're talking about.
That's the whole negative versus positive number. Never mind. It's important. Don't backseat my
your engineering brain.
Yeah.
It's always faster to switch to your backup Taz than reload. Yeah, so those are the events. Stims go crazy, skills go crazy, hideout go crazy, Taz go crazy, melee go crazy, dog tag go crazy.
Dude, I'm gonna go crazy when the wipe hits because I'm back to being like a fish out of water in Tarkov.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when you don't play for long, it feels so awkward. Like it's so not smooth. Like running and jumping through a window and then like, you know, looking down the hallway and peeking and aiming, and it's just like so awkward. Like you got to get used to everything is kind of slightly delayed and there's all this sway, and people take for granted when you play it a bunch. Take for granted.
Oh yeah.
The feel for the timing of all of the things around like the lean and the aim and how close to the doorway, the door jam you need to be, and all of those little things, you know, that like
that you subconsciously calculate for. You know when to stop, that the inertia is going to kind of take you and be where you want it to be. Yeah.
No, I was trying to do some like immersive, little bit of, you know, quick immersive footage, but I'm like also kind of like, I wanted to do a raid, so it was a live raid. And it was like, I can't use any of this footage because I look like I just look like a complete nitwit. So I had to do like 5 raids before I would get anything.
That's freaking funny.
This is the first time, dude, I did a video. It's only like 2 minutes long. Because remember how I had talked about the idea around like the clip submission stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So I literally made a video where I'm like, yo, the wife's here. And I just have it done, saved, and I'm like going to release it as soon as we know, you know, whether it's 2 days before, 1 day before, the day of the wipe, whatever, that's when it kind of like announces the whole,
that
like,
makes
you know,
sense.
join the Discord, do the clips or whatever. But
clips,
that's what I needed the footage for. But
that's funny. That's smart, actually.
I went through all of my slicks and I had no helmets. I had one Tagilla helmet, but I just had slow. Now then again, I know like a lot of the meta has shifted to like, you see the Giga Chads with like the backwards hats on.
The shattered mask.
Not even that, just the hats.
I
like
am
no,
a helmet believer. I think it's crazy.
when you have infinite shit, you
Mhm.
might as well.
Yeah, but I have infinite helmets because I'm a helmet believer, right?
Yeah.
Chicken or egg type thing. If I didn't believe in them, then I'd sell them all. Helmets are good money. Helmets are like one of the things people take because they sell to Ragman for good money, but I keep them all. It's just like,
you know what I need to do? Yo, I need to like write this down because I want to keep track of every time I get hit in the helmet.
oh
like
yeah,
for the whole wipe and
I
be
have,
like, I've got 827 raids. I get shot in the helmet 6 times or 6 million. You know what I mean? Like I want to know.
I have a counter in my chat. Like we have
You do?
yeah, we have a bot. I think is it helmet? Oh damn it! One of my mods needs to type it in my own chat because I could tell you how many times I've been saved. It's not every single time because a mod has to like hit it, but it's we have exclamation point legs for every time I break my legs, and exclamation point. Oh, it's exclamation point saved. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make a list of things that like when I'm halfway through the wipe and I get an idea for something and I'm like, I wish I'd started this from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like paying attention to insurance from like day one, and for like a week figure out how much you get back, like early wipe and whatever, all those things that like I never think about.
The other day I was playing, I had an Alton on, and I got it in one raid. I got hit in the head. Oh, I didn't even know this could happen. In one raid, I got hit in the head 4 times. Face mask was 50 out of 50 durability, so none of it was face. It was all head. I got out of the raid. The Alton helmet was 0 durability. 0.0 durability. I was like, how did I live? It was just had to have been like ricochet. I heal my head. A hit, I don't know, but I went in with a durability. It was an almost full durability Alton, and I got out of the raid. The visor was 50 out of 50. The helmet was 0 out of freaking 23 or whatever.
Once?
No, I got hit 4 times.
Oh yeah, he must have been using HP rounds or
something.
Dude,
it was crazy. I'd never had a helmet zeroed and live. I've killed people and then got their helmets and they were zeroed, but like I've never zeroed out a helmet and lived. It was crazy. But yeah, I just think, I've talked about this before. Like I think that's why I like just keeping helmets, because it's hard to spend 80,000 rubles or 40,000 rubles or 60,000 rubles on a helmet every single raid. But like,
I'll use them. I'll loot them.
Yeah,
but I just almost never buy them.
Yeah, never buy them. Yeah, so I just collect them because it's like, it's so hard to tell how much value it saved you. Because how many times does 40,000 rubles until you get hit and it ricochets and you live that raid? That's a whole kit you don't have to rebuy, and it's all the loot that you get to keep. You know what I mean? So it's like, where's the math on how many times it would save you to be worth it? It's obviously impossible to know.
About all the times that you died where it did nothing.
Exactly.
Like you got shot to the thorax, so it was irrelevant.
Exactly.
Versus the times where you get shot in the head and it didn't save you.
That's the thing, is that like so many people are like, helmets don't ever save me. And I'm always like, I bet you $100 of your past 30 deaths, you only got hit in the head in the helmet 5 times. Like the helmet is not, it should always save me. It's if I get hit in the head, I hope that it saves me. You know what I mean? And so
it's like a seatbelt. If you hit a wall at 150, your seatbelt might save you.
It's like, yes, they're expensive, but if you get freaking flechette to the tummy, don't be mad that helmets never save you. You know what I mean? It's like, or if you wear a ULAC and you get hit in the eyes, don't get mad helmets never save you. You know what I mean? It's like,
but technically, like, to play devil's advocate, if you never get saved by a helmet, then it's never worth wearing a helmet, because if you die to the chest, then the money you spent on the helmet was money wasted.
For sure.
So it's almost like,
for sure.
If you can you imagine if you had to pay $10 every time you wanted to buckle your seatbelt? How few people would fucking...
Oh my God, bro.
Because you'd be like, well, I'm just going to roll the dice.
I've never been in a car accident before.
Yeah,
But the thing is that same exact logic applies to armor. If I get shot in the head all the time, why wear armor? If I get leg meted all the time, if I get arm meted all the time, if you're wearing a slick and you get stomach meted all the time, and nobody argues that armor is useless. I guess some people would, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's how I look at it. That's why it's like when I kill people and when I loot their stuff, I'd rather just keep it. Because yes, that could be 40,000 rubles to sell it. But now the next time I die, I just have a helmet and I don't have to spend that money. You know what I mean? It's still value lost technically because I could have sold it and I didn't. So I'm not saying that I didn't lose its value lost because I could have taken something else out of the raid that I could have sold for sure. But I just don't have to make that decision. I've set it up in a way that mentally my brain loves it because I don't have to make that decision because I have 3 items cases full of helmets. Sometimes I want
it should be cheaper.
Helmets?
You know, like a level 3 helmet should be like 12,000 rubles.
Yeah, how much is the penis helmet? I actually don't know. Somebody with the game open.
Literally, I'm guessing 34,000.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Could be. That actually sounds right. It's like Ragman 1, which is nice. It's that it's available day 1 of the wipe. Oh, that actually reminds me of another thing.
I'll usually buy. I'll buy those penis helmets every now and then, like to help around 30K. 23K, yeah, it should be like half 23. Of that. Yeah, everybody's saying 22K, 22K. Yeah. So, I mean, I really think it should be like half of that, right? Because it's just,
yeah, I'd be okay with that, honestly. Because it's not a great helmet. You know what I mean? Your ears aren't covered, your face isn't covered.
How often is that helmet going to save you?
Yes.
Much like less often,
That's
right?
true. It shouldn't just be helmets are expensive. It's like cheap helmets should be cheap because they're going to save you less times. But it's like condors. People wear condors because it's level 1 armor, the glasses, but it has low ricochet chance. But for 8,000 rubles, low ricochet chance is worth it. I actually have a clip today where I shot somebody with 7.62 BP. He was wearing the old LZSH in the mandible. I frame by framed it. It hit him in the eyeball and it went ting, and then I died. And I was like, yo, those 8,000 ruble condors coming in clutch for him. You know what I mean? So it's like, so the penis helmet should be like, like 12,000 rubles because it's going to save you so few times. Yeah, I'd be down with that actually.
I feel like everything, all of the heavy helmets, you know, like the Alton face shield should be like 80K, 100K, you know, whatever. And then all of the class 3 helmets should be like 10,000. The class 4 helmets should be like 25,000. Like I just hate that they're like 60, 80,000 because it's I feel like just for the average person, the average raid, it's not a good investment. It's not it would be the best investment in the world if it was your life, your real life.
For sure, of course.
But when you're dying every 5 minutes, it's like, if I'm going to do 10 raids, I'm going to die in 7 of them. 7, you know, that's 250,000 rubles. And in a day, how many times in one day, assuming you're an average player, is a class 3 or 4 helmet without a face shield going to save you? I would say on average less than 1. So it's like,
of those 7 deaths, you probably, the helmet probably wasn't even put in the position to save you, but maybe one of those times. And then that one of those times, what is it, a coin flip? It depends on what ammo they were using. If you procced the ricochet, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to it.
I feel like the operating costs of raids is just annoyingly high. You know, like, which is part of what makes people like feel like they need to hoard gear and or money because it's either hard to get it, hard to afford it, hard to save up the money to, like, I don't know. I feel like if everybody was running around with level 3 shit, would that wouldn't be a problem. Nobody cares. Nobody's complaining about that, right? Like, that's day 1 of the wipe. Everybody's wearing level 3 stuff. You know.
That was actually another thing that I brought up. I was talking, I think I saw it in a video and then it just got me thinking. I can't remember. But isn't it crazy how, like, how accessible high tier ammo is really renders so much of the gameplay around armor useless. And this was the context that I arrived to this thought, which actually we've actually talked about this before. It's not like a novel idea, but I got to that idea through a different channel this time. And somebody was like, somebody was just talking about, it was a video on like what to do for the wipe, like preparing for the wipe. Like, this is what I look for. Oh, and he was like, check your scav bodies because these class 4 armors are like really, really good. You know, the blue floral rigs that are class 4. And I was like, and I watched that and I was like, I'm pretty sure I ran a TV 110 rig all last night. Like, on my stream, I was like, I can think I went like 8 raids in a row. And I was like, day 1 of the wipe, I'm looking for class 4 armor. 1,600 raids in, I'm wearing class 4 armor. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, and I just kind of arrived to a place I already knew, but like through a different channel where I was like, of course, those floral rigs aren't as good as the TV 110, the material, the durability, of course. But I was just like, and it's like, I don't rare TV 110s a lot late wipe, but if I died 6 times in a row and I just control click a TV 110 that was in my stash on, and then I survive 8 raids in a row, like I wasn't like intentional. It was just like, oh, I'm assuming I'm going to die. So I throw on a TV 1, and then I go on a rampage. I'm like, it's crazy. Like, there's class 3 and 2 armors are completely useless. Even day 3 of the wipe, you know, everybody can kill a few scavs and then grab a class 4 armor. I think it's level 2 Ragman where you can buy those rigs, those class 4 armored rigs. And then by the time you get to level 40, so many people around you have such good ammo that wearing level 5 and 6 armor is like a helmet. It's like, how many times am I even going to be put in a position where this class 5 armor is going to help me? You know what I mean?
It's insane diminishing returns, right? Would you rather like sell it? Would you rather sell it for like the equivalent of like 2 really nice guns?
Yeah.
You know, that like having a gun and being able to shoot it a couple of times and dying is that is like more of a positive experience than wearing armor.
Yeah.
Even if you have to get shot, because first of all, if you have the privilege of surviving, then you have to pay 80% of the value of the thing to make it 70% as useful.
Yes.
So it's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. Like, and it's not, again, like these are the things that people defend as like hardcore, and it's not hardcore.
No.
It's just stupid bad design.
Yeah. And so that's how you get, like you said, Giga Chads with backwards hats and TV 110 rigs with M993 or M61 and a 308 MDR, because they know that if they run into anybody running the gun they have in their hands, armor's useless. Nothing can stop 993 or M61. So why?
But they'll survive to the scab with the TAWs.
Exactly. And so it's like, it's just crazy that it's like day 1 of the wipe, I'm going after armor that is the same class as what I'm putting on day 200 into the wipe. And so it's just like, and what's crazy is that like, I don't think that means armor needs to change a whole ton. I think it comes back down to like ammo. You know what I mean? If the high tier ammo was much harder to come by, when you found a class 6 armor, the Pavlov dog would be like, I'm going to survive. The last 8 times I wore a slick, I survived tons of shots. Now, you might still get hit in the face, but like right now you have to consider so many things. You have to consider, I might get leg meted, I might get shot in the face, I might get flechette to the stomach, and I might run into a guy with M61. So it's like, why wear the slick even? You know what I mean? It's just...
Dude, the graph of like the effectiveness versus, you know, the class or the price or whatever it's, you know, at 0, it's completely flat, you know, ineffective. And then all of a sudden it's like level 3 pops up to like, you know, halfway up the graph. Level 4 is like 60% of the way up the graph. And then level 5 and 6 are like a little bit above that.
Yeah.
So it's like
4.
There's a sweet spot where it's like you get such diminishing returns. It's not worth it unless you have infinite resources. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then that's why, and a lot of people that are on the more casual side of things probably think the conversation we're having is insane because they see all the Giga Chad streamers wearing class 6 armor all the time, and they wear those slicks because they have literal infinite money. Like, you know what I mean? And so at that point, the tiny bit a lot of times is worth it. And then if they die 3 or 4 times in a row, then they'll just rip with, you know, the backwards hat and the TV 110 rig and not care. And so it's like,
if they were wearing a P.A.K.A. and no helmet, they'd still die to them.
It's a skewed thing.
They would blame it on the net code, or they'd call him a cheater, or they'd blame it on Peeker's advantage, or they'd blame it on, you know, whatever. They wouldn't say, wow, I should have won because he wasn't juiced out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so hard. So I was just contemplating that the other day, where I was like, damn, the armor is just like, it's so crazy, and it has so much to do with how available the high tier ammo is and how available it is from the traders. And you know what I mean? Like, people talk a lot about like, yeah, the raiders have BP and stuff like that, which they really don't often anymore. Like if I go 10 lighthouse scavs and kill a bunch of raiders, I'll find BP maybe 1 to 2 out of the 10. Like, it's in a really good spot where like that little, if we just like completely zone in on that little microcosm, that feels good. Because I can do that all day, and then one time I'll be like, oh, BP, and it like feels good because I'm like, yes, I did this a bunch. But it's the M61, M62, craftable and purchasable from the trader. It's the BP that I can craft nonstop and get from a bunch of other places too. And it's just like, it's crazy.
I honestly, like, this might be a hot take, but I genuinely think like if 762 by 39 PS was like, the stats on that were like as good as ammo gets, I think the game would be better.
Yeah.
That would give us the higher time to kill. It would make the 3 times that you get a slick armor that you actually decide to take it out and wear it, it'll save you, and you might survive 5 raids in a row.
Yeah.
Instead of 1 raid and then die, and then 1 raid and then die, and then 1 raid and then, you know what I mean? Like,
I would say I wouldn't want that to be the only way, but if it was like gun to my head, choose between the Tarkov we have now and that, if it was that binary, I think I would choose that. Like you're saying.
I just picked a hypothetical.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's 35 pen, which I think they may have buffed it. I think it's 39 pen now. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. That would be, and yeah, the armor or the ammo that you picked was arbitrary. But yeah, that is somewhere in that range. It would just make it.
Because imagine you come across like there's a world in which 1 out of every 30 people you run into is wearing Fort Alton. And in that case, you can still kill them with PS. Yeah. 100%. If you get into a straight up aim duel 20 meters away with the same gun and the same ammo, you'll lose that fight.
Yeah.
But like 20 raids from now, you'll be the guy wearing that, and it'll save you, and you'll be like, yes, I got saved by my.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you might get saved 2 or 3 or 4 times until like you can only get so lucky.
For sure.
When you wear a Fort and an Alton, you're not invincible forever.
No,
your durability is gonna get down, and you know, I mean, back in the day, I used to go 30 raids, 40 raids without dying.
Yeah, and
that's when it was like my Fort would be 20 out of 80.
Yeah,
or sorry, 20 out of 20 because I just repaired it, repaired it. Yeah. I know it's like the whole nostalgia thing, but like it was better than when you survived more.
For sure, yeah, and that part of the game, I definitely agree, felt better then. That it felt like. Because that's the thing, people want to defend. It's so hard because it's just the vicious cycle, because the people that play more casually don't want armor to be better because they're like, well, then I'm going to die even more. But it's like, but then there's nothing to go for. There's nothing to grind for. If you agree that the armor doesn't work and you think it shouldn't work because you want to be able to kill anybody, well, then what are you grinding for? Why do you even want to kill them? Why do you get excited when you kill a guy with a slick if you think the slick sucks and you don't want it to be good, right? Like, we all have to recognize that we would die more in certain circumstances if armor was better, and we would die less in certain circumstances if armor was better. You know what I mean? And so just that balance of right now, it just feels like a why. Like, why is there anything in the game other than a TV rig? You know what I mean? Why is there anything in the game other than something that protects you a little bit against scavs? Because,
and that's why I was careful to say like 1 out of every 20 PMCs or 30 people. Like it's a balance thing where
for sure.
If every other person you're running into is running Altons because they're you can buy them or craft them enough that then it's
that's
like a
dumb.
different game.
Yeah.
But if again, like at the end of the day, I want the whole wipe to feel like early wipe. Yeah. And the occasional Giga Chad with the rare epic gear, if you die to them because of their gear, but there's a percentage where it's like you're okay with it.
For sure. I agree with that.
If you come across the Juggernaut 1 out of 100 PMCs and you feel like you can't kill them, it sucks. But at the same time, it also sucks when you muster up the courage to use the good shit and you get your legs blasted and then you die to 2 basic AI scavs and customs.
Yeah. Tarkov was the whole experience of Tarkov is built on let's make the lows lower and the highs higher, because then the emotional experience is really wide. if you want the feeling of, oh my God, I just one tapped that guy. He's so juiced. This is epic. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. If you want that feeling, then the stuff that juice guy is wearing has to be effective.
You have to be excited, not just for the money of it.
Or else, yeah, exactly. Or else there isn't that feeling. If you kill a guy with just more stuff and he didn't think that stuff was effective, you didn't think that stuff was effective, you killed him, there's no emotional response to killing him. So if you want that high of like, I just Mosin that Alton guy, I got the 13% pen chance, I one-tapped him, it's sick, he had an ult and he had a slick, this is dope. If you want that feeling, because you have to believe that the Alton and the slick are good and valuable outside of just cash money. So,
and that's a good point too when you talk about the pen chance. That's another like RNG thing where it's like there's a percentage where it's okay if you get one-shotted in your epic helmet every single time with the basic Mosin ammo, then it's frustrating and you're not going to ever wear the helmet and everybody's going to run the Mosin ammo because, you know, but like if 10% of the time you can one-shot the Giga Chad with nothing, and only 10% of the time you come across a Giga Chad, then it's like, you know, there's a balance.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, these numbers I'm just making up off the top of my head. Like, I don't know what the numbers are, but there's a world in which Tarkov will feel much better for everybody. And if you're a Giga Chad, and chances are if you're a Giga Chad, you probably agree with everything I'm saying. It's the casual people that think that what I'm talking about is going to make it worse for them. And I hate to tell you, you just don't have enough experience with the game to know that what I'm saying is going to make it better for you. Would
be helpful to
now and then later even more so, and then you'll understand
for sure.
I hate to say the whole like, oh, you'll get it when you get older, kid. You know,
no,
but like,
I've made a bunch of videos where like clearly in the video, like I try to explain so hard. Like I genuinely think like where the summation of the video of the idea is, I think this would make it better for casual players and harder for Chads. And I think the Chads actually want it to be harder for them in this situation. Like that's the idea. And then all the Chads in the comments are like, I love that idea. And then the casuals are like, what? No way, you can't take away my X. And I'm like, man, you don't even realize, like, you interpreted that as I want to make it easier for the Chads. I said I want to make it harder for the Chads, and all the Chads went, yeah, that would be better. And then the casuals that I want to make it easier for, it's like, and easier and hard are such dumb terms because it's more binary. We want the experience to be more balanced and better and not just, I don't know. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about here because we think the same way. And so, it's just...
It's kind of like the funny thing whenever, you know, everybody, when they have, now obviously this is not like a sweeping, you know, political economic statement, but like people are fine with super high tax rates until they make a ton of money. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. You want to take 48% of my 180,000? Like, whoa, wait a minute. That's a lot of money, right? But when you make 20,000, you're like, tax the rich, you know what I mean? Like, it's the grass is always greener, you know? So you have to recognize that, like, this is a bad example because I wouldn't necessarily make this argument when it comes to economics. As much as everybody thinks I'm like this crazy leftist, like, part of it is like, if you hope to, the Tarkov equivalent of being a Giga Chad is like being a rich person, right? If you want to be in this economy to the point where you're so successful, then, you know, me saying this thing that doesn't seem good to you now is gonna be good for you later. The more experience you get, you know, like that's a metaphor.
No, but I know what you mean. It's just, it's hard, and I really do empathize with it because at the complete surface level, from the casuals experience, is they die to desync, they die to no audio, they die because they maybe don't have access to that ammo. They hear us say things all the time like, there's so much access to good ammo, and they go, I don't have that access. What do you mean? And then they either die to the Giga Chad that it just outplayed them, and then here's a huge thing, I believe, that 10, like, you know what I mean? If I went up against Landmark, and I have 5 times, of those 5 times, the gear he was wearing didn't matter. It was his skill. It was his positioning. It was his accuracy. That man is insane. He can click on heads quickly. The gear didn't matter. I don't know that I've ever hit him. In my 5 fights with Landmark, I don't know that I ever hit his body. Okay. So it's like on a super surface level, if you're a casual player, all of these factors bunch together. And then you hear guys like us say you know what I mean? Armor should be more effective. And it's like, and people are just like, whoa, 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 whoa. But you have to consider these things. You have to understand that like all of these other factors are at play. And you see those people and you want that ammo, but you also want to preserve your ability to just kill them with whatever you want. It's like you just can't have it both ways. Either the armor is effective and valuable, or it's not effective and not valuable. And the game's current state is it's not very effective and not very valuable. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? That's why you see the Giga Chads running labs with shattered masks and TV-110 rigs, because what's valuable in the game right now is guns and ammo. That's really it.
Yeah, I mean, would you rather make it so that it's going to take you 5 bullets to kill somebody, but they can kill you in 1 bullet? Or would you rather have everybody be 3 bullets? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like
that's you know, that ultimately comes down to, you know, kind of like what we're talking about.
Yeah. Really interesting. So somebody made a point earlier, and I don't know what they really meant, but it got me thinking about something else. Somebody said, make light armors useful. And in my head, I was like, almost all the most effective armors are pretty light armors. Like Slicks and Hex Grids don't have huge movement buffs because they don't cover your stomach. Troopers, TV-110 rigs, like all of the most common armors. But then it got me thinking about the opposite. Who would you ever choose a Gen 4 the full Beef Boy over like a TV-110 rig? No. So I was like, make heavy armors useful. What if a Gen 4 full had 250 durability?
Yeah.
Like, that would be sick.
When was the last time you saw anybody wearing the Zabralo Fort?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They wear it into factory one time so that they can get shot by scavs to get it down to 0% durability and turn it in for the quest. It used to be great.
Yeah.
But now it just makes you feel like you're even fatter and less mobile than,
so it's
day
like,
one of the wipe.
So it's like if a Gen 4 Assault had 250 durability, realistically, you're not invulnerable because you could still get shot in the legs. And it depends on what helmet you're wearing. But if you had a Gen 4 full and an Alton, bro, you're slow. Your reaction time is slow. Your turning
speed vision and your hearing
slow.
are fucked.
Your vision and your hearing are slow. But you feel like you can actually tank some shots. That would actually bring risk reward. Then that would be like really interesting emergent gameplay of like squads with like a dude with super light armor and a dude with super heavy armor. The heavy armor guy goes in, we hear shots, we flank around, like, but right now, I get so mad when I wear an Alton. I get so mad when I wear like the Redut armor, the Samurai one, if I'm ever just like memeing around, or the Gen 4s, because it's so awkward with no benefits, no additional benefits. Like it has 85, the Gen 4 full has 85 durability, but a Gen 4 Assault, I think, has 60. Like that's one additional M80 round. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, that's not enough of a benefit. So like, it would be super interesting. I think light armor is really effective right now. It's the most effective. Make heavy armor effective. I think that could be really cool to like give that stuff and like just up the durability. You don't have to up the class, but up the durability. You know what I mean? Like that would be interesting.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean, and the other downside too is if you happen to kill, like, again, you kill a guy with the fort. Unless you have the biggest obnoxious backpack in the world, you can't take his armor and his gun and his teammate's gun. The armor takes up exactly 92% of the backpack because it's a 4x5 5x5 or whatever.
And in the case of the Gen 4 full, you don't even want to. I killed that guy. Okay, if I take this out of raid, it's going to take me 15 minutes to get out of the raid because I'm going to be super overweight. I'm going to get out of raid, and it's going to cost me $275K to repair this armor to 75% of its durability. So it will now be the effective durability of a Gen 4 Assault.
Yep.
And heavier, and I just spent $300K repairing it. So it's like you kill a guy with that armor, and it's like that. Those armors are boomerangs right now. No one's taking them because why the hell would you? You know what I mean? Like. It's crazy. But if you killed somebody and it was 180, if it was like 120 durability out of 250, you'd be like, well, I could repair this up to 200 durability, and it's still nutty compared to anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if that'll let me like survive 3 or 4, factory raids, like regularly, then I would actually wear those things every now and and again, it's like if you survive 5 raids with like a Zabralo and you get 3 of them in a wipe.
Exactly.
Not everybody's going to have them all the time. You know what I mean? But again, you have to limit it. Like whatever the amount is, I want you to not run into it very often.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, and then have it last you some amount of time where it's meaningful.
It becomes more dynamic. This is the like when people say what's the end game of Tarkov? Like what are they going to do without wipes? What's the end game? I haven't come up with a better answer to the end game than balance. Just balance. Like if everything has a use, but not everything is super available, then your fights feel different all the time. Sometimes you get into a fight and you're like, oh my God, that guy's got a Gen 4. I haven't run into a guy with a Gen 4 in 200 raids. Now I play it differently. Like balance means variety. Variety means replayability in a lot of sense. I'm not saying they don't need anything for endgame, but like we've talked about, like what's the end game of DayZ? Yeah. But every experience you come across is different because like, did the guy that you fight have armor? Did he have a scope for his thing? Or is he just throwing raw chicken at you? Like, you know what I mean? There's not, you know what I mean? And obviously I'm not a huge DayZ player, so maybe there is some super unbalanced stuff in there. But like the core gameplay loop of Tarkov can be fun for thousands of hours, but not when once you get to the top, it's just here are your 3 guns and here are your 2 armors. Now play forever. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, so I don't know.
And yeah, agreed.
All right. So pre-wipe, don't know what we're getting tomorrow. People are so convinced that like it's just gonna wipe. Like just like the game's down. Like people keep coming in like every day. Like today, people are coming in at like 3 p.m. and being like, "Do you think it's gonna wipe today?" And I'm like, "No." Like they're gonna let us know it's gonna wipe. Tomorrow. Like it's like if you're wondering if it's gonna wipe today, it's not wiping today. Whenever you hear this, you know what I mean. So like it's interesting. And then so we alluded to this earlier, but like all the conspiracy theories. So like what's today? Today is the 22nd, right? They did a wipe on Christmas Eve and everybody hated it. And some people think Nikita said he'd never do that again. I don't necessarily think he ever said that, but everyone hated it. So people like, well, he's not going to wipe Christmas Eve and he's not going to wipe Christmas Day. So it has to be tomorrow or it has to be Monday. But if it's not Monday or Tuesday, then we're getting too close to drop. So it's like everybody's like, like doing the thing where they're trying to create the theories. And I was like, and so it's like, I don't think he's going to wipe on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. But I was like, bro, you can't put anything past Nikita. Like that mofo is going to press the button when he wants to press the button. It feels to me like the 26th, which is just a Monday after.
Sometime between the 25th and the 31st is my guess.
My standard response for the past week has been the wipe will be sometime between this moment and the heat death of the universe. Like just somewhere between
100 trillion.
Yeah, those two. Go watch that Melody Sheep video. It's sometime before then it'll wipe. Because I don't know, you know what I mean? So it's like anything. And then yeah, it's just like somebody just 100% after Christmas. And it's like, yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like when I see 100% after Christmas, I hope he wipes Christmas Eve. You know what I mean? Like just because it's like people throw around 100%. I mean, I throw it around a lot, but anyways, it feels like Monday would be sick, but who knows, dude? It's like we're just riding. I'm just floating down the lazy river that is Escape from Tarkov, just waiting.
I'm hoping whatever changes they have will make the game
better.
Just feel better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, oh man, like if it feels like it felt 4 days ago when I like jumped in, I might play for 3 days.
Yeah, I feel you.
I really hope that's not the case. I want to love the game again, you know, but like I just
I get it. I totally do. I really, really do. We'll see, man. I mean, I'm growing very, very excited. I know people a lot of times think that we're just jaded old Tarkov old men, but like I am so pumped for this wipe. You know, in that little the Girls of Tarkov podcast, one of the questions was like, will we ever see the quest changes? And his response, like verbatim, was like, we've made some changes to the questing this wipe so that those who have been playing a long time will have a different experience. So like, of course,
Watch is now the 5th quest rather than the 3rd one.
So like there have been a lot of crazy theories that have run off with that, which once again, that's just going to happen. But just in general, any amount of change is very welcome to me. Like my expectation is that the quests will be like 15% different, maybe some new ones, maybe some early ones on different maps, and maybe some of them are in a different order. I think a lot of people are expecting like the first 87 quests are on streets and then their quests are going to go here. Like I feel like people keep asking about the quest overhaul or the quest rework. And I'm like, my expectations aren't there. My expectations are, but even 10 or 15% different, even just some new ones early and switching up some of the maps around or something like that, personally would be huge. Cause like, I'm just so tired of the
you
slog,
now bring
like
you bring the golden Zibbo to therapist this time.
Yeah. Like think about how crazy of a change it would be if the first quest, okay, just think about like, and this might be a bad idea. So just walk with me on this thought experiment.
I hate it already.
You log in. I understand. Day 1 of the wipe. Okay. You examine everything and you're like, where's my quest? Okay. And it's mechanic has a quest and there's only one quest. And that quest is like, find me the folder of intelligence on streets. It's the only quest. That would be sick. Because nobody would know where it was. Nobody would power level it. We would all be wondering. You don't have to go streets. You could go woods.
No. You know that the number of people, it would be like No Man's Sky day 1, where they said nobody will ever meet, and then
I know.
A live stream with 2 people.
You didn't let me.
One person would.
I'm saying.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying. I would say even for an hour, of everybody not knowing would feel good. It would only take an hour before somebody found it, but like. It would be kind of sick to have an hour where everybody was on streets and nobody knew what the hell we were doing.
Well, no, I mean, that's going to be the case regardless whether we have quests or not.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, but if we have quests, people are just going to go do the quests. You know what I mean? Like it's...
Yeah, but all of the quests they're all going to be new.
Yeah, well, all of them on streets.
On streets.
Yeah, I'm saying it would just be fun to push everybody to streets first. Like if you wanted a quest, you had to go to streets. You can't go do debut until you get this quest done. You know what I mean?
Or just make debut on streets.
Yeah, I mean, even that would be kind of sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, there have been theories from nothing's going to change all the way up to like on wipe day, the only available map is going to be streets. And it's like, so everything in between has been like theorized. So I don't know. Debut is any map? Yes, it is, but it didn't used to be. It used to be customs, so they could just make it.
Is it any map now?
Yeah, it's just kill because it's like kill 5 scavs and get the shotguns. And it used to be customs, and now it's just kill 5 scavs any location.
Oh, you know what? I bet you the lore text probably still says like there's a bunch of hobos over on customs. Yeah, I bet you it still says that. What's it called? Debut.
Yeah.
Let me read it.
It used to specifically say kill scavs on customs, and now it's any map.
Hello there, soldier. What are you interested in? Cash, goods? You want the job? I'll give you a job. After you show me who you are and what you are made of, it's the first time I see you, and no offense, I don't give important tasks to anyone. Show me how tough you are in the field. Kill a bunch of drunken hobos and take their from them. You will be the biggest badass ever. No, sorry, that's not what he says. If you can handle it, then you'll have cash, better goods, sweeter prices. Well, you get me. Logical enough, right? Well, fine. Listen for your test assignment then. There are a tons... Oh, okay. Of bandits roaming all over the streets. I thought it said all over streets. I was like, what? Data mine, yo! We call them scavs. Calm down. Save 5 of those parasites and grab a pair of MP133 shotguns from them. I still hate that quest. I hate it. The fact that they're like, kill these scavs and then grab a specific thing that they might not have.
And a lot of the quests don't accept guns under a certain durability, which is the stupidest thing in the world because all the scavs have freaking super busted guns.
It's almost like they've like resigned themselves to being like, oh well, they're gonna buy or craft them, so we might as well make it so that
why do it the right
to.
way? We've just resigned ourselves. Everyone's gonna do it the other way. We don't want. Why even do it the right way? Yeah,
I still wish that they either took in Diablo 2. This might be the case in Diablo 3, but in Diablo 2, if you do PvP and you kill somebody, their ear drops. Like it's almost like you cut their ear off, and it says like their name, like level whatever when you kill them. It should be like you have to take their ring finger with their ring
from the scavs,
cut it off, take their ear, or
sick.
even like I still think that scavs should have licenses. That's like the equivalent of a dog tag.
Oh,
for scavs where it has their name and like maybe their level or whatever.
That would be kind of sick.
Scavs, but then also that would be your way of proving you killed them, and it would make sense in the lore. And then you could also sell them. Yeah. If they were as valuable as dog tags.
That'd be kind of cool because you know how there's like 3 different levels of scavs and they have 3 different HP levels. It'd be cool to like get a confirmation that like when you killed it and you got its license and it was like level, age, whatever arbitrary number was on there. It was like back in the day when you would kill someone and you were like, was that a player scav or not? You'd search it and it had a little secure container slot and you're like, oh, that was a player scav. So it's like the fight is over. You've already won. It would just be cool to know like, oh, that's why that dude tanked so many shots. Like that was a big boy scav. You know what I mean? Or something like.
I just thought of a quest. This would be sick. Imagine if it was like, you need to find Boris, and like, whenever you had that quest active, one of the scavs in every raid, one of the on any map, one of the scavs would be Boris, and you have to kill all the scavs and then go check their licenses and see, and you'd get the quest reward, not the reward, but the confirmation when you double clicked the thing and you looked at it, you're like, yes, I got Boris, because
then you kill a bunch of scavs but you're hurt, you got no PvP fight, you're like, should I go loot them or should I just extract? What if one of those is Boris? That'd be kind of sick actually, dude.
It would give you a reason to like go into one area and then go to another area. He might spawn anywhere in the raid. It might be the first one you find. It's just like subtle things like that. That's the shit that they need to do to make the quests interesting. It's not Mad Libs where it's kill X while wearing Y gear while
on Z map.
On Z map while using X gun at A time.
Yep. From Z distance.
Yep. Yeah, with Q medical issue.
Yeah.
Kill Boris while having Crohn's disease.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I wish if Tarkov supported mods, I would say you should read in that accent all the flavor text for all the quests and then make it a $1.99 mod for Tarkov where you could like, as soon as you accepted a quest, you started reading all the in that accent.
Oh my God, dude, I would be rich.
I would love it, dude.
I'd be rich.
I would love it. So we'll see, man. I don't know. What's interesting is that, so here's a couple other interesting tidbits so we can move on from Tarkov. For a long time now, the past major patches that would include wipes, especially a patch that would include a new map, have always had banging trailers. You know what I mean? We don't have a trailer. Of course, we've had...
has already had like 9 of them, though.
But still, they like the tiers of surprises. So like they like talking on podcasts and telling us what's coming.
TIERS, but also TEARS.
And then certain things like for 12.12 last year around this time. Well, we had the wipe, but you know what I mean. In the trailer, it showed a guy using a rangefinder, and we were all like, "Oh, no, you know what I mean? It was like, that wasn't like a huge surprise, but he had never talked about that. And the trailer, it was hype, dude. So like, I don't want a Streets trailer. I want a patch point 13 trailer. So you could even, it's a little bit of, excuse me, a little bit of footage from Streets, but like, show me the dude using an underbarrel grenade launcher on customs. Show me a guy on Woods with the SR2. Brrr. Show me Zerachi killing some PMCs or the Lightkeeper. Like, I want a patch point 13 trailer. I don't want a Streets trailer. So like that, I'm just a little bit surprised about, because some people were like, yeah, but the patch is so important, they wouldn't have time for that. I was like, kind of the opposite, right? The patch is so important. Wouldn't they want to hype it up? You know what I mean? Like, those videos get hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. So,
yeah, we also need a Gene Burn track to go along with it.
We need a Gene Burn track to go along with it. And then also, they haven't done a podcast. Now, recently, they've been doing podcasts like during the downtime. So that's kind of what I expect that. Like, they'll take the game down at some point during the downtime. They'll do a podcast and they'll show us some stuff. And maybe they'll release us the trailer for it there. You know what I mean? But like, I was just surprised that we haven't gotten a trailer yet.
All right, this is probably the hottest of all hot takes, but I want Gene Burn to make more piano quiet tracks, like the OG, you know, with the like, as much as I love the like the Doom, you know, like, I don't know, like
a quiet one would be so good for Streets too.
I couldn't. It's like there's that video from Every Frame of Painting where it's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, sing the Harry Potter theme, and people sing it. I don't know it. You know, they're like, sing the 007 theme,
the Star Wars
sing
theme.
the Star Wars theme, and they're like, sing the Avengers theme, and they're like,
yep.
It's kind of the same with the Gene Burn tracks. They're sick and they're hype, but man, those original ones, like,
yeah.
And again, maybe it's nostalgia, but they are far more like iconic melodies, simpler. Oh God, I hear those. I even have them in my Spotify now because I don't listen. I don't have the music on in the game anymore. So whenever I hear the it's like, oh, I literally get like I'm thinking about like a past, like my first love, you know? Like,
yeah.
I genuinely get a feeling in my chest where it's like, oh, those were the days, like the experience of what Tarkov was like.
I don't know why we were hyping up the game for some reason, and we turned the in-game music on, and it was like, it was weird how much it transported me back to being new to the game. I was like, I'm feeling emotions I haven't felt in a long time, Jack. Like the soundtrack, those original songs were like, holy cow.
And can you imagine if the soundtrack was it wouldn't be the same. It just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
You know, it would be like the Doom soundtrack is rad. Like, oh, it's so amazingly Mitch, whatever the fuck his name is. I almost said Mitch Jones.
Hedberg.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg. Mitch McConnell. Mitch Romney. Mitch is my favorite mayor.
Mitch Romney's my
Mick
favorite.
Gordon. Yeah, close enough. Gordon Ramsay. Jeff Gordon. I mean, that music is amazing, right? It's amazing because it just, you want to rip and tear till the job's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, but man, like just having a really simple, emotional ballad, you know, not just some death metal, is yeah.
So, I want that. I want those things. The only other like thing of note is this like really blew up, and I don't think it's anything. But people.
Oh my God! While you're looking that up, Tower just said the next pre-wipe event. Imagine if all of a sudden it was like, download this update. It's a pre-wipe event, and all of a sudden you saw 0.4 in the bottom, and it was just, they just uploaded a branch from 8 years ago, and there was like, everybody figure it, and it would be totally like, half of it would feel like complete and utter dog shit. The other half of it would be like, yes.
That would either be the best thing for the game ever or the worst, because if everybody loved it, like the community sentiment would plummet. But I think that people look at those times through rose-colored glasses, and I think people would be like, I mean, they would like be like, this game is unplayable, take me back. But one of those two things would happen.
Half is true. Half and
Yeah,
half.
yeah,
Like,
you're
we
right.
Forget.
Honestly,
We don't remember the stutters when we think about the old days where it was like full on lockup every time you
like
open your
2-second
inventory.
stutter. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't. There's a lot that we forget. But it's the things that are good that we want.
For
like,
sure. For sure. I totally get that. The time to kill, the guns.
Yeah, it's like thinking
better.
about being in college is amazing, but you have no money, you have no car, you have no whatever.
Homework,
but like,
you're stressed about homework.
But hanging out with like human beings every day, drinking and having fun and whatever, like it was an experience. Yeah. You want part of that back, but
No, you're absolutely
right. And then you get like me, where you get so old that you couldn't even enjoy it if you,
even if you could go back.
You can have 2 hours to drink a Bud Light Lime, and that's like your evening enjoyment. Not 12 of these over some beer pong.
So Dimitri tweeted that like the Escape from Tarkov Arena Twitter account, because like there's an official Escape from Tarkov. Remember you were asking, you were like, was that like Ball State Games that made it? Like that account's been verified. Like it is there, and then like Dimitri
Is it the blue check mark though?
No, it's the yellow.
The
one.
Real check mark?
Real.
Okay, not the one that you just pay
$8
a month for?
Which some of the like Ball State or Batter State, one of them paid for the check mark to now just dupe more people, which is like unreal. But the so like the Escape from Tarkov Arena account, it's like the real legit, and like Dimitri like tweeted it and was like poggers. And so people like, dude, I had so many people come in today and be like, did you see Dimitri's tweet? That means Arena's coming in the patch, right? And I was like, slow down. I would love that, but slow down. You know what I mean? Like they still said it was going to go through closed testing. We don't know if this closed testing has begun or not. We don't know what this closed testing is going to be like. There's a universe where the closed testing is not under NDA, that it's streamable, that it's playable, but you have to get an invite to test it. There's a universe, and that starts on wipe day. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that that's one of many universes, and I feel like it's much more likely that a month or two or more after the wipe, like NDA testing of the arena begins. You know what I mean? Like it's just like,
you're saying there's a universe there, but in that universe, it's so much harder to play Tarkov on a QWERTY keyboard when you have hot dog fingers. Yeah. That's the universe.
Oh my God.
You get mustard all over the place, dude, and get all ketchup-y.
Ugh. Yeah. So yeah.
Jesse, how did you even make that noise?
Dude, no.
Dude, everybody, okay. Never mind. I'm not even gonna spoil the thing. Like half of the comments were about in the last video. I'm not even gonna say it. It's way better when you don't reveal the joke.
Yeah.
So never mind. You guys will all just never know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's because you're.
Now I understand. And now I have to mute that too.
You said you wouldn't. You promised.
I know, but I'm just gonna be honest with you this time. I can't.
Okay.
Can't let that slide. We got advertisers watching us, man.
Such a.
Dude, I'm so glad you did that because now I want it. So Arena, dude, who knows? Live whatever life you want to live. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying temper your expectations. That reminds me, we can stop talking about Tarkov, whatever, but that does remind me about a thing. It's just like we were talking the other day about like how, and I'm sure this isn't exclusive to Tarkov, but like we've talked a lot about like just like it feels so like I don't want to be a shill or just relentlessly defend BSG, but it feels so bad when somebody made something up. This is fake. I made it up in my brain, and then BSG didn't execute on it, and people are like, BSG is the worst game dev ever. They didn't even do this. And it was like, you made that up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to come across as a BSG shill or everything they do is great, but like...
But the checks are so lucrative, so you...
Yeah. So, like, we were talking about, like, how... and once again, not at all unique to Tarkov. But the game of telephone that happens, and we were talking about this in the realm of the quests, where it was like like Nikita said, we're gonna reshuffle some of the quests. And then somebody was like, wouldn't it be cool if they just like reworked them all? And then somebody went, I heard they're reworking all the quests. And then somebody said, because they heard somebody else say, I heard they're reworking all the quests. And that person also heard at some point in the past that all the quests were going to start on streets. Somebody goes, I heard that all the quests are going to start on streets this way. And then that telephone gets back to me and people are like, so are you excited for all the quests to be on streets? And I'm like, bro, that's not happening. And if it doesn't happen, you're going to tweet that BSG sucks. And it's like crazy. You know what I mean? So like, we've just like, that is just so hard because all I'm trying to do is just like fight against just like stupidity or things that are just like black and white wrong. And people's expectations are adjusted based on nothing more than speculation. And then they just come out with the pitchforks that BSG is the worst game dev ever because they didn't do things that they never said they were going to do. And it's like, oh.
Dude, I never do the things I never said I'm going to do either.
Yeah.
Nobody gets mad at me.
Just grinds my gears. You know?
Really grinds me. You know what grinds my gears?
You know what?
I don't even know. I don't know who that is or what it's from, but I'm pretty sure I did
Family
an
Guy.
Impression. Oh, I never really watched Family Guy.
Yeah.
And I know I'm missing out.
I didn't watch a ton, but I just know that specific meme is from Family Guy.
Is it the little baby that says it?
No, it's Peter.
Is that the little baby?
Peter Griffin. Okay, come on. The main character of Family Guy, the dad.
Oh, what's the baby's name?
Stewie.
Oh, I don't know why I thought Petey.
Stewie.
Never mind. I know. Yeah, okay. Isn't it Cartman or is that no? I am I haven't seen South Park in a million years because like it's on Hulu or some now or whatever, and like whenever they moved it to some different thing, I stopped watching it. Although I'm pretty sure I've been paying for Hulu for like 4 years now, so now that I mention it, I should probably go back. Are they still making South Park? I love South Park, dude.
I think so.
I love whenever South Park came out. Okay, wait, when did South Park come out? Because I remember being X years old, 97. Okay, yeah, I was 9.
Wow.
I was 9 years old watching like Did you ever see the old like OG South Park?
I mean, I've seen a few episodes, but I didn't watch it until I was in like high school.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, yeah. So then you never saw the one like the Halloween. Never mind.
Wasn't the first episode of South Park ever hidden on the CD-ROM of like a PGA Tour 96 or something like that? Like the video game Tiger Woods PGA Tour, the very first episode was like hidden on that disc on all of them.
Is this some like Ben Drowned creepypasta like that you read on a green text?
No, I thought I saw a YouTube video about it.
What the dude? Yeah, if you completed Majora's Mask backwards, it teleported you to the cutscene. I don't know, dude. It's not on the wiki. I'm like looking.
Oh man.
Episodes.
Isn't there somebody help me out? Isn't that?
Yeah, Cartman gets an anal probe. Season 1, episode 1. Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride. Oh my god. An elephant makes love to a pig. Starvin' Marvin. Oh my god, yo. Tom's rhinoplasty. Mecha Streisand. Cartman's mom is a dirty slut. You imagine a TV show with the title? Dude, I miss. Oh god. Someone canceled them. Terrence and Phillip is not without my anus. I need to go back and watch the OG. I remember watching this being like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this, but
Yeah. Okay. Tiger Woods, 1998, Tiger Woods PGA Tour game. Only a few months after the release, the PlayStation version of the game was pulled off store shelves on a mass recall. Why was it yanked? Because somebody at EA Sports thought it would be funny to slip an episode of South Park onto the game disc. And not just any episode, the very cute, uncensored South Park pilot. So it had been running at this point, but they put the pilot on. It's called Jesus versus Santa. While the episode wasn't viewable from the game itself or in a PlayStation, if you put the disc into a PC and open the file with zdummy.dat, you'd be able to view the short. Calling the episode questionable to consumers, EA ended up recalling the first 100,000 copies of the PlayStation version of the game.
You think that guy got fired, or
I don't know.
Yo,
isn't that crazy?
Someone get this man a. You said PGA Tour?
PGA Tour 1998. It makes
more sense if it was like Tony Hawk, or something.
Yeah. Like... Twisted Metal or something.
Oh my God, Twisted Metal.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's my fun fact of the week.
Oh, God. Yo, we were looking at, I was looking through the comments, and it seems like I feel like most of the people want to hear about the main woods creature encounter.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
so many
one...
people said Dad Fight was a banger.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is not going to have the resolution you'd like, because it didn't for me.
If you didn't actually run into something from another dimension, I'm going to be mad.
Have you heard of the Chupacabra? You know about Mothman, right?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I talked about The Jaunt before, right?
Yes.
The short story that I'd recommend Stephen King, everybody read.
You sent it to me. I never read it. Yeah.
Oh, you piece of... Dude, you know how many people come in? Like, I still get like once a month, someone's like, yo, I just read The Jaunt. And I can see in the text that they're like, pupils are fully dilated and they're like, haven't been sleeping.
Yeah.
It's some existential. It's literally 10 pages. Okay, well, The Jaunt by Stephen King, you can Google it. I'm pretty sure there's like a PDF. It'll be like the first or second result. Anyway, so I was in like the deep ass woods of Maine.
Okay.
On a trip with a buddy of mine. So back when I was in high school, I got my real estate license when I was 18.
Okay.
And I was actually in the Freemasons. I was a 3rd degree master Freemason. Oh man,
for real?
For real, yeah.
Well, yo, we gotta put that on story time.
I mean, it's just a whole lot of deep sea fishing and cribbage. It's not really and I can't talk about the ritual.
When is the NDA up?
Because I had to lie in a coffin, and then when like surrounded by all the guys, I don't know, dude. It's like,
I can't put that in the podcast, bro.
I probably shouldn't talk about it. But that's literally okay. It's literally not a joke. I actually was 3rd degree master Freemason. I was like an old man when I was 18.
Yeah, dude.
And if you know anything about the Freemasons, a bunch of old men. It's basically just blueberry pie and cribbage.
Freaking Veritas had his real estate license and was the grand poobah at an Elks Lodge by the time he was 18.
Okay, listen. It's a lot more respectable than the Elks Lodge. Get out of here with that.
All right.
But anyway, so one of my real estate associates, the guy that actually got me into Diablo, I used to go to the real estate office like overnight and play. I'd be up all night, dude. I had a key to the building. I would go
Diablo?
and I would go in on his computer and play Diablo from like midnight. I took my motorcycle, dude. I had a Ninja 250 when I was
I'm learning so
in
much
high
about
school.
you.
And I would get up and I'd get a coffee. I had a cup holder. I'd get a coffee, a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I would be there from like midnight to like 6 a.m. and I'd go to school the next day. Holy dude, this is a throwback.
Wow.
And I just do bail and chaos runs all night long. So one of the guys I worked with, he had like 100 acres up in the deep woods in Maine. Like so far north, you're in the south.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you know that they invented the toothbrush here because anywhere else it'd be called the teeth brush. That far up into Maine. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's Waltham, Maine, which when I looked at the time, it like wasn't on MapQuest. Like it just didn't exist.
Bro.
So there was 100 acres with like a little river kind of thing that went through there. And I was up there because now some of this is actually tangentially related. There's going to be kind of 2 story times in one. I was up there. Am I admitting to a crime? I might be admitting to a crime. everything I'm saying is fiction.
Okay. Hypothetically.
Okay. So we made a pipe bomb because we needed to destroy a beaver dam. I think every part of that would be illegal if it was true. Luckily, it was.
You guys were just
almost 20 years ago, and it was in GTA.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you've ever seen,
I like how you said we had to blow up a beaver dam.
If you've ever seen a beaver dam, like a proper beaver dam, I've never seen anything so robust in my life. The thing was like 50 feet wide and like 10 feet tall, and it was just packed with like the biggest branch trees like it was. So now, granted, me and this old man with like a limp,
of course,
we went to in GTA. In
Yeah.
GTA, there's the Kittery Trading Post in Maine. They have that in GTA. It's like in Vice City. You got gunpowder. Now, this is one of those things in hindsight, you know, it's 2020, and like I'd be able to Google a lot more things now than I didn't then, because it was not my idea in GTA.
Yeah.
But we basically made like a pipe bomb, but apparently making it out of PVC is not smart, because it's all about like the pressure you have to keep it contained.
Yeah.
So usually I think they have to be made out of metal or whatever. Anyway, dude, it was like an episode of in GTA. It was like an episode of the Two Stooges, because we literally had to do a like light the fuse and kind of like, yeah, you know, book it. And it was like we had a long fuse.
Yeah.
And I remember we like lit the fuse because we had a backhoe, a skidder, shovel. I mean, nothing. Could not make a dent in this thing. And every time it would flood his whole camp and like completely f everything up.
Oh. In
So,
GTA.
in GTA. So we lit the fuse, and it was kind of like run far enough away that you're like safe, and then you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you're like, if it doesn't go off, what do we do now? Like, what do you do if you're just sitting there and waiting and out of nowhere, dude? We were just like, it had been so long that we're like, there's no way.
There's
like,
no
are we
shot
gonna go?
it's gonna blow
you
up.
You can't go. And then like right when we least expected it, kapow! And dude, we went over there. We're like, you know, basically fell over. It was insane. And it was like a small black smudge on the thing and not a dent in it. It's like, well, looks like we're not gonna do anything, you know, like.
Yep.
It was such an it was the opposite of it was climactic.
Yeah.
But
not
anyway,
effective.
that's a whole other story. Now that night, this is like the same week that I was staying there. There were two cabins. They're basically just like prefab cabins, just put on like cinder blocks kind of thing. And then the whole area had like, you know, the stone, like the white kind of stone, gravel, whatever you just put down. I'm trying to think if this was the same trip, because I've been there a few times, and now I'm trying to remember. You know what? I think the time that the main creature encounter was actually like years later, because I'm fairly certain my wife was there. So that would have had to have been
a separate
4 or 5 years later or something. I think it was a separate trip than the pipe bomb in GTA. He had a PlayStation. He had a PlayStation there. That's where
he had a PlayStation 3 for the pipe bomb, but it was PlayStation 4 for the creature, and that's how you know it's a different time. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and he had PGA Tour, and then we were watching South Park.
Yeah,
it was really
weird.
No, okay, so I wear contact lenses because I have extremely bad eyes. Like my prescription's like negative like 11 or something, which is like, my wife complains that hers are like negative 0.25 or whatever. Like My glasses are like Coke bottles. That's why I wear contact lenses. But in the middle of the night, I had forgotten my glasses. You have to take your contacts out. You can't like sleep with them. It'll, you get like eye infections, and some people do, but it's not good for you. I'm lying, and we'd been shooting guns. I had my AK and my shotgun and all this stuff because there's bears. I mean, they're like, you don't f around. I wasn't walking around there without at least my Glock, which probably wouldn't do jack against a goddamn bear. So we're lying in this cabin, and that was the day I read The Jaunt. Totally, like out in the middle of the woods. It's like 5 hours north from where I live, like almost on the Canadian border. There's no power. You're gonna die basically if if anything happens. And we're sleeping on this couch together, and we hear outside like and you can hear just the scraping of something on the gravel by the one window, around the front. And my wife's like, like bruising me, holding my and I'm like, grab the AK, and I'm like, open the door, and I'm like, and there's nothing there. And I'm like, okay, what the and of course I'm blind. It's pitch black. I've got one of those little tiny 9-volt battery head lanterns on with an AK, and I'm like, probably gonna shoot Mike, my buddy whose land it was. There's nothing there. Heart's racing. 40 minutes go by. We finally fall back asleep. Maybe half an hour later, as like the fire that we have burns down.
No.
It happened like 5 times, dude.
Just start shooting out the cabin.
You know how many times we to this day, the only explanation anybody's come up with was that it was like a beaver who was like dragging the tree branches, but there was nothing there. I'd open the door and the noise would stop, and there was nothing.
It wasn't even like a scurry.
No. If it was like off into the distance, I would have been like, okay, it's a animal, right? But whatever it was, it sounded big, and it sounded like it was dragging a body, dude. Like, and to this day, still have no idea what it was. And I've never had any like alien encounters, ghost sightings, nothing like that. This was the one thing that is like my unexplained story. I can't describe to you the noise. It was just horrifying.
It was Mike. This is what he does to his guests. He was out there in the middle of the night.
If you knew Mike, you'd know it wasn't him.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
That is nuts.
Deer rubbing antlers? I mean, maybe. I don't know. But you would think that, I mean, the cabin is small.
Yeah, and if it was that close that you could hear it that well, and you open the door, you'd hear something.
Dude, I mean, it's like a wooden floor with like, no, there's no insulation. If I hear it, it's on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
It was on the other side, and it was like one of those terrible things where, you'd like put the flashlight up to the window, look out the window, but like the glare from the flashlight is like too hard to see through the glass. So like you can't really see clearly. And it's kind of like, a little I'd never been so horrified in my life. That was like the closest I ever came to like using a gun in like a let's roll situation.
Let's do it.
Like this is all my training has led up to this moment, Oh my god,
dude, that is insane.
Yeah, I'll never know. And I'm sure there's gonna be a million people that are gonna have explanations, and none of them will ever be. I'll never get closure.
No,
I have to live with this my whole life that the fucking Mothman was outside and just dematerialized, as the Mothman is wont to do
whenever he's about to get found out.
And it had to make if it was like footsteps, that would have been one thing.
Yeah.
But it was, it's like the indistinct ambiguity of like, what is that? You know, if you hear like, you're like, okay, cool, the devil's here.
Yeah,
Great. At least
right.
I know. At least I know Satan's here, right? And we're gonna f around with Satan. Like, let's do this. But if you heard like, you know, like alien babbling, you'd be like, well, I don't know what the that is, and there's no explanation other than chupacabra. So I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the beaver's getting a revenge. Listen, first of all, we didn't blow up their house. Okay, it was in GTA. Second of all, in GTA, we were level 1 explosive skill.
Yeah, but again, in GTA.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually the trip too. I've got pictures. If anybody ever wants to come in and ask, I'll have to have the pictures up because it's like one of my early pictures that I have like saved in like my iCloud.
Yeah.
Was this is how far north we were. Mike's neighbor in the next property, his name on his license, his first name was Brother.
Hell yeah.
Brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
And you know what? Brother
God, that's so sick.
Brother had something called a skitter. Now, some of you might know what a skitter is.
Chills,
I didn't grow up on a farm or anything like that, so I didn't know what a skitter was until Brother came rolling in with his skitter.
Brother.
And let me tell you, imagine like a backhoe. Do you know what a skitter is?
No, I know what a backhoe is.
Let me look. I don't even know, like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you Google images skitter, you're going to get an idea.
Oh,
like, look at the Wikipedia page, the Wikipedia image. It's like a 200 by 200.
Jesus, yeah.
You see that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Brother had one of those.
Brother had a skitter.
Now, the thing is that it had a passenger seat. And when I say passenger seat, what I mean was, you know, did you play baseball as a kid ever?
Mm-hmm. Like T-ball.
You know the those like cement mixing buckets, those little bit where they'd always have the balls. The
balls
were always in those buckets.
Yeah.
Turn one of those over upside down, and that was the passenger seat in Brother's skitter.
Brother.
And I'm like driving in this thing, like holding on for dear life. We needed to make a path from the trail to where this beaver dam was. Now, again, I'm sure this is normal for a lot of people, right? It wasn't normal for me. I'm like a suburbs boy. So we're driving along the path. And at one point, Brother, now it's just like total thick woods on either side of this trail, right?
Yeah.
Which was basically Mike's driveway. It was like 10 minutes of just unpaved dirt garbage. And then all of a sudden he turns 90 degrees to the left towards the trees and just goes, and just trees. Dude, he just drives through
the trees.
That's how they make trails, I guess. You just drive through. Dude, it was the wildest thing. And at one point, this was also in GTA. You guys have played GTA, like the newer
North
one, right?
Where Main
there's like
edition.
There's that crazy like drunken dude, you know, with like the white t-shirt. That's always like that. That's basically Brother.
Brother.
Theoretically, hypothetically, in GTA, a skitter can get rid of a beaver dam.
Oh.
But the thing is, you're kind of in ground zero.
Oh, yeah. When it
went from, like, to Titanic going down. Let me tell you, I've never been so white knuckle holding on to this thing as just water, dude. No.
Oh.
I'm like, I can't jump off either, too, because I don't have a life vest.
Yeah. And
I'll drown. So I just held on for dear life, and somehow
Brother got you out of there.
Brother got me out. I literally have a picture. I'm out of breath from telling this story. That's probably not good, huh? I'm getting the picture.
Dude,
I gotta just go to Facebook and I just gotta hold page down until I get my third photo on Facebook. Scrolling.
Dude, brother as a legal name is pretty epic.
Oh God, here's when I was old Greg. Ooh, there's my Jixer, my other Jixer. Oh, yo, this is okay. Wait,
Yeah, by photo you mean screenshot from GTA, right?
yeah, no, but wait, real quick. This is also I'm screenshotting this and putting it on Imgur because you guys need to see. One of these days, I just need to do a Facebook photo kind of reveal. So we were sledding in college, and a homeless man in the middle of a blizzard, and a homeless man was wearing a t-shirt, a bathrobe, and no pants. And he came up. He was drinking a fucking. I'm pretty sure it was. Looks like an A&W root beer actually, and a cowboy hat. And I got a picture with him.
Bro,
he was talking to us. He was like, "You guys sledding?
What is your life,
dude? I've got a."
How do you have the amount of stories that an 83-year-old should have?
Because I'm 83.
By the time you're 35.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I'm uploading this image right now. Grab link. Let's copy the link. You guys will have to come to YouTube if you're listening to this on audio form. Oh, I was gonna say come to YouTube, but we're not. This probably isn't gonna be on YouTube, so
Yeah.
you'll have to come to my
stream.
VOD. Okay, here's the picture. Putting it in Twitch chat right now. Go ahead and take a look. That was the pantless homeless man.
Hell yeah.
That's when I was in college. I was like, yo, can I get a picture with you? Because nobody will believe that a homeless man with no pants
pants was in a blizzard.
Was hanging out in our blizzard. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, I can't find the skitter picture. Oh no, devastating! I blue balls myself. Oh man.
Oh my jeez. Oh jeez.
Well, anyway, that's better.
Yeah, I mean the homeless guy, the pantsless homeless blizzard man.
I have a lot of encounters with homeless people.
Yeah. I'm
a man of the people.
A man Veritas, a man of the people.
A man, a plan, a canal, Veritas. That's how that goes, right?
Dude, 100%.
I've got so many photos. One of these days I genuinely need to just have like a. The problem is that I can't like show it on stream without like straight up doxing myself.
Yeah.
So I have to like go and like open up the image in a new tab and then like delete the URL from the thing and all right, well, I will have to do it after the podcast.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's the main creature encounter story. Which one do you guys want next? What we have left are finger cut in half incident, wedding brawl, firing an employee, Sun Microsystems $1 million, ruptured spleen, overdosing on sleeping pills, the stabbing, and then wind tunnel stories. Nah,
I feel like it's gonna be
I have to think about those.
A 50-50 between the stabbing and finger cut in half.
Just know that some of the names here, they sound. Okay, there's two things. There's the stabbing and finger cut in half. One of those things actually happened as described. One of those things did not, and that's what makes it funny.
Okay. I have seen a few requests for a wedding brawl as well.
Okay. Well.
Let us know in the comments what you'd like to see.
Why do I have a picture of my Blockbuster card?
Oh, hell yeah.
That had to have been like,
hell
oh my God,
dude.
Look what I found. Oh, God. And I'm just, I'm scrolling through and there's a picture of my finger sliced and bleeding, but that had nothing to do.
That had nothing to do with finger cut in half incident?
No. You know the like Apple monitors? Like those, what are they called?
Just like the Thunderbolt displays?
Thunderbolt displays. Those are like glass.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a crack in one. And I remember like going over and being like, "Oh, look, there's a oh Jesus!"
Dude.
And it was like I'd never bled so much from a cut than that specific cut. And for some reason, I have a picture of it on my Facebook. What the fuck was I putting that on Facebook, dude?
Bro, dude. Remember when that was Facebook? Oh my god,
dude! Some of these pictures I have are unbelievable.
Well, that's a banger right there. We got the triple. We got the triple story. We got main creature encounter. We got the pipe bomb in GTA 5, and we got pantsless homeless man in a blizzard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was something. That was surely something.
Oh, I got a picture of me with Penn Jillette.
Oh, I have a
got him to
picture
sign
of me with
Gideon Bible.
Steve Wozniak.
Oh.
When I worked at Apple, the Woz just showed up one day. He just walked in. He just walked into the back, and we were like, "Can we all take pictures of you?" And he was like, "Yeah." It was kind of cool.
That's amazing.
The Woz.
Oh my god. I even have a picture in the background. You can see the beaver dam. This is on an LCD, like low res PlayStation based display though.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Imgur new post. Let's do that. And we're gonna go ahead and grab the link, and we're gonna copy the link. We're gonna go paste the link. So that is the skitter.
Dude, that thing is humongous.
Yeah, dude.
Look at the chains.
And the last one. Bang.
Yeah, dude, the graphics on GTA are so good.
Yeah, dude.
You can the barely mod pack installed.
You can see kind of in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
You see those like in the middle of the picture on the ground.
Yeah.
That was like 10 feet down.
Mm. If you had been playing in 4K, we could, zoom in on it, but
we get enhanced.
Oh man.
Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, I love it. I like it a lot. Story time is here to stay. That's for sure. On that note, it's like, how do you transition away from that? Yeah, you should have said you're playing Ranch Simulator.
These pictures, I'm putting more pictures. Listen, you'll have to come for the live stream if you want to see these pictures.
All right. Well,
I'm not even going to give context for this one.
We'll
end it.
Let's end it. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I ideally this time next week. I shouldn't have clicked the link, bro. Who are you, bro? I need to know who you are. Are you? Anyways. Hopefully this time next week we're in straight to Tarkov. If not, we're gonna be further deep down into Veritas's Facebook feed, and this is apparently a scary, dark place.
Oh, that was such a piece of shit.
But thank you guys for hanging. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for the love on the YouTube and all the places. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen if depending on when we wipe, when the podcast is gonna be. Stay tuned. Thanks for hanging, and we'll definitely see y'all on the next.
Peace.